Wait.
All the industrial unions affiliated to all our centers, the affiliates of NLC and all other affiliates that are here. Let me salute your courage this morning for turning up this large number to continue to engage in the process of the minimum wage actualization. This rally is very symbolic because of the fact that we want to make the point that the issue of the 30,000 minimum wage is not about the inability of the various stratas of government to pay. I think it's about the lack of will. If there is the will, certainly there will be the way. And therefore we reject any attempt to continue to say that there is no resources to pay the minimum wage. We are aware of the high cost of governance at all levels. We are aware that it has not changed and we are still living as if we are in paradise. We are aware that humongous corruption is still going on. We are aware of the jumbo salary that is still being collected by our political elite. And therefore nothing has changed. And clearly, if we are to make our country to work, there is no way the workers that create the wealth of any economy can be referred to as tiny minority. Are we tiny minority? No. We create the wealth that our politicians feast on. We toil day and night, great men and women in every sector of the economy, from education to security, from healthcare to social services. We toil to service the entire population, and therefore workers cannot be referred to as tiny minority. We are not 5%. In fact, in every system around the world, it is the same workers that service the entire population. So how can our political elites refer to us as tiny minority? What percentage are they? What percentage are they if they say we are 5%? Certainly we know their percentage. And what do they consume? We also know what they consume. We know the humongous salary that they have been collecting, which is over and above what is collected in decent societies. Is Nigeria not a decent society? If Nigeria is a decent society, why must Nigerian workers be treated differently from other workers around the world? Are politicians more decent than the workers? No. The answer is obviously no. And therefore this rally taking place across the length and breadth of this country today is to emphasize that gone are the days where workers will sleep on their rights. The right to a decent wage is a fundamental right. Yes. The right for a worker to be paid is a fundamental right. Yes. Comrade, let me even inform you, even those in the informal sector, the artisans, there is nowhere you determine their wages or you determine their pay without negotiating with them. If you go to a mechanic and you take your car and you want the car to be fixed, you negotiate with him. There is no way you can determine their pay without negotiating with them. And it's the same principle that must apply to workers. No governor can fix a wage unilaterally without the collective bargaining process. This is a well-tested process. This is something that Nigeria, as far back as 1981, we have been able to achieve. Are we retrogressing if we are trying to undermine the Minimum Wage Act and also the process that is set out by ILO to actually fix a national minimum wage? Let me also emphasize, when some of the political elites of recent are saying that we should allow states to go and fix their wages, is the wage of politicians also fixed by the states? No. Their wages are fixed centrally by Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission. In fact, they padded their wages. What was approved by Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission was also padded, and they are receiving humongous salary that cannot be compared to any country that we are at par. And therefore let us inform them that the issue of a national minimum wage is not about paying a uniform salary across the country. No, In the United States, where you have $10 minimum wage per hour, states can pay 12, and some states are paying 12. Some states are paying $15. And therefore, we are talking of a national benchmark, a national minimum, below which no employer of labor, both in public and private, can actually go below it. If our governors are saying they should be given the power to fix wages, and some of the elites are saying, then who fix the wages of private sector workers? It's an aberration for us to be making progress, and now this progress is about being deterred. So today's occasion is actually to emphasize, in every state, our workers will go to the doorstep of the governors. Let them tell their workers and their pensioners and their family what is their standpoint on the 30,000. They cannot be coming to Abuja and be making statements and they go back to their state and say they are ready to pay. Let every governor now speak to its workers today about what is their position. And we have also said clearly, this is the best period to discuss minimum wage. All over the world, the issue of politics is about workers' interests, it's about citizens' interests. It's about what you have on your agenda. What is the agenda for workers must be discussed. It cannot be wished away. Even in the most capitalist economy, what drives the process of engagement is about interests of workers, it's about interests of building a strong economy, it's about how to make citizens secured and how to address the welfare and well-being of citizens. If the primary purpose of governance is about welfare and security of the citizens, and workers not part of the citizens, so nobody can take us for a ride. We cannot be taken for a ride. It's our right, it's fundamental. When we work, we discuss our wages. When we work, we negotiate our wages. This is the principle globally. And therefore, we cannot, under any illusion, continue to think that government will award us salaries, jumbo salaries. No, they will only award to themselves. In fact, let me remind our political elites and our governors, when 1.9 trillion was advanced to them to pay salaries, to pay wages, to pay pensions, and pay gratuity, we knew what happened. In fact, most of them diverted the money, with the exception of few, which we have mentioned clearly every day. We have few governors that are pro-workers, and they have used these funds judiciously. We have mentioned their name clearly. In Plateau, before the governor came in, he has 7 months unpaid salary. He came and cleared it. They call him Baba Alat. Yes. This we must continue to celebrate. Yes. In Zamfara State, where we have extreme poverty, and why the issue of companies have continued, is because up till now, some workers receive as low as 7,000 naira as minimum wage. How can we think that we can then pray or hope that insecurity can improve if the people are so poor? We know that poverty is the instigating factor for insecurity. Where people are giving money and they use the money to buy bulletproof cars, we know what it's all about. And even Mr. President has lamented that how can these governors sleep with their eyes closed if their workers are not paid? And therefore, this is the context. If they have been giving such support, if they have been giving such bailout, is it the same governor that will think we give workers 30,000 on a platter of gold? No, the obvious answer is no. Because politics has become business in Nigeria, where people invest money and they want to make maximum return on investment. They don't look at the welfare and well-being of citizens. And therefore, the time has come for us to assert our authority, for workers to be respected, for workers' interest to be respected. What is 30,000 in the context of today's economy? How much is a bag of rice? How much do we transport ourselves to our places of work? How much do we need to take care of our families? Let me tell our politicians that 11,000 workers will directly benefit from the minimum wage. By our database, 11,000 direct workers. This is outside their dependents, outside their extended family, and outside their immediate family.